Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are in the same spot as my TBR video, and this is not going to be an update on my TBR, but instead I am thinking I'm going to be doing a massive unhaul of unread books. Some of these books have really sat on my shelves for years, and honestly this year, since I've been really trying to read more of them and narrow down my physical TBR, I've kind of started to realize there are books that I think I may never actually pick up. So I figured I should just get rid of some stress and unhaul all of the books that I don't really care about anymore. I don't see myself reading literally anytime soon. They don't interest me anymore. So I figured let's go through them, and if you can in the comments convince me to read any of these, I will consider not unhauling them. That is also the goal of this video, is if any of these books are your favorites or you guys like them, you can try to convince me in the comments, and then I'll, feel inspired to read them again and maybe want to pick them up. And either way, it's a win-win for me getting through my physical TBR. So let's go through some of the books that I really think that I'm going to be unhauling soon. So the first book that I am considering unhauling is The Singles Table by Sarah Desai. This is the third book in an interconnected standalone trilogy that she wrote, and I read the first two. The first one, I just did not vibe with the main characters. I thought it was okay, it was good, but I didn't really care for it. And then the second book, I remember I enjoyed the FMC a lot more than the first book. And then when I started this one, I just could not get into it. I guess I made it to chapter 5, but I know I picked it up and put it down multiple times to even get to that point. And I just was not vibing with her main characters. So this has been sitting on my TBR for maybe 2-ish years. And if I unhaul this, I will also consider unhauling the first two. I think it's The Marriage Plan and The Dating Game. The next book is actually really disappointing to me. The next book is One Last Shot by Betty Kayouette. I don't know. I am 6 chapters into this. I picked it up and I was so excited about it. It just sounded so good. Emerson's a model. Theo is a fashion photographer. They go to the Amalfi Coast to do photography, and they get paired up for the shoot, and I was so excited for us. I have the Afterlight edition. I really just was so excited for this story, but when I started it, I read the first couple chapters, and I don't love a story told in 2 timelines. Every once in a while I think it works, but I just do not vibe with that. But not only is this told from 2 different timelines, it's also told from 2 different perspectives. I read his perspective, her perspective, and then to go back and then be her and then his, I was just like, this is too much for me. And I'm not gonna lie, the beginning, there was a scene or 2 that I thought was just really immature writing, especially for these characters, with how old they are. It seemed really odd. So I think I'm going to be unhauling this, as well as the Afterlight edition. Okay, the next book that I'm considering unhauling is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. Everyone really loves this series, and the only reason why I'm considering unhauling it is I've just had it for so long and I just need my passion reignited for it. So if you love the series, please comment down below what you love about it and why I should read it, because I'm really kind of just pushing this off because I have not thought about it ever. I cannot remember the last time I thought about picking this book up. So I was thinking it probably just does not need a home on my shelves and could find a better place. Maybe someone else would really want it. So okay, the next bunch of books are all fantasy books, and I honestly have a lot of Fairy Loot special editions on this list. The first book I have on here is Powerful by Lauren Roberts. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so this is not able to be sold anymore, and I think I've just been holding on to it because I read Powerless a couple months ago and I did not enjoy it. It just did not feel like an original story to me. I feel like I had read a book like that. I could compare it to 3 other books I thought were extremely similar, and so it just was nothing special to me. It didn't feel like anything. And then also to find out this is about a character in the first book, I wish I had known that this took place during the first book so I could have read it, but I just feel like I don't need to know anything about this character now, if that makes sense. I don't want to spoil Powerless, although everyone and their mother has read it. I don't need this. I don't feel like I'm gonna read it. I have no interest in reading it, and I have no interest in continuing the series. So next book I have is Promise and Fire by Jasmine Wall, and I got this because I love reading indie romantasy. Then I found out this was YA, which there's nothing wrong with it, but then I read some Goodreads reviews and they were very mixed and I just kind of forgot about it, and I have no, girl, I've not thought about picking this up like ever. But it's like got dragons in it, so I know someone will really want to read this. So the next book I have is The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Johnson, and I kept this for so long because this is the indie out of print edition, and I love collecting indie out of print editions even though they're not really worth anything unless they're in high demand. And I really did think I was going to read this. I've heard a lot of good things about this, but then the more I learned about the series, the more confused I got. I think it's like a 6-book series of 3 duologies, and honestly, I have so much fantasy on my TBR, like I really don't have much of a desire to pick this up ever. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I'd rather read something else. The next book I have is Twin Crowns by Catherine Doyle, and this is a Fairy Loot special edition, and that is why I've kept this so long. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I've had this for years, and I love this edition so much, but I honestly have no desire to read the series. At first, I was really excited about it and was like, oh, I really want to read this. I thought it was a standalone, then I found out it's a duology, and then I found out it was a trilogy. I felt like I kept hearing like, oh, it's just a duology, it's just a duology, and then a trilogy. Like those kinds of series don't end up faring well for me. I hate when a author stretches things out longer than, sorry, this is like blinding you guys. I hate when an author stretches things out longer than they need to be, but also I heard this is just like solid, like it's okay. So I figured the special edition would be served better on someone else's shelf. Someone who loves the series, I think, would really appreciate this. So I think I'm gonna be unhauling this entire series. Is the Foul Lady Fortune series by Chloe Gong. I love Chloe Gong as a person, like I love her TikTok, but I do not completely vibe with her writing. She does a lot of info dumping, and that is just not something I enjoy. She's very setting heavy, very descriptive heavy, and that's just like not the kind of fantasy I like. And I kept this for so long because the premise of Foul Lady Fortune sounds really, really good, but I don't know, I just like have not heard enough to make me want to read it. The more time passes, the more I'm like, do I really ever think I'm gonna pick this up? And I didn't really love Rosalind's character in These Violent Delights duology. So yeah, I just like don't vibe with her writing, and so it's kind of ridiculous for me to have these. The next book I believe I'm going to be unhauling is Seven Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb, and I kept this for so long because I love this sprayed edge. Let's see if we can get it to, like, I think that's gorgeous. I don't know what this is about. Like, look at this art. Like, I think this edition is gorgeous, and I keep a lot of books on my TBR because I think the edition is gorgeous. But I don't even know what this is about. I've had this also for years, I feel like. Also, I don't know if this is a standalone or a series, but I think it's a series, and I don't need to be keeping the first book in series on my TBR like indefinitely. Because if I read this, I'd read it and put it in, like, just cross it off a list, but I would not continue the series. I have the These Twisted Bonds duology by Lexi Ryan, and I have the Fairy Loot special edition. This was when I was a subscriber and I got it in their box. I got this book because I loved this cover so much. I think it's gorgeous artwork. I've heard so many mixed things about the series. I've read 14 pages. I really want someone to convince me to read this because I've had these for so long, and I have the Fairy Loot special edition. Like, I think these have sat on my shelf long enough, and it is time to give them a better home. I moved with this book and it's been in boxes, and I always forget I even have it. This is like, what even book is this? The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. This is a Fairy Loot special edition. This I think I got when I was either in a process of moving or something, and forgot I even had it. So this I'm definitely going to be unhauling. I don't know what it's about. Another book I'm planning on unhauling is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is the Probably Smut edition, and I have the tabs and everything will go with it. It is signed. I have just heard so many mixed things, and honestly, my main thing is I don't care to read it. I don't care to read it. Someone else might really like it, but even when this book was announced, I was just kind of like not interested in the plot, and then when I found out Probably Smut was doing an edition, I was like, oh, cute, they'll do redesigned cover, like I'll read it because I got it. And then honestly, the continued talk about it just made me feel less and less interested. My friend is reading it right now, and she was just like, it's okay. And I'm like, I don't need to keep it then. Someone else can enjoy it. These are my more for sure ones. Ones I'm considering we'll go through now. Ones I'm considering unhauling, Magnolia Park series. I have it. These are just UK editions. I don't think people realize you can still buy these covers if you order them from UK. I have the first four books. Honestly, the more I hear about these books, the less I want to read it, because is there a plot? Like, I don't know. Is there a plot? I'm so confused. Like, I don't understand what the books are about. Like, And that is really frustrating to me. I'm like, I don't know what they're about. Like, what even these books are about. And I think the plot is literally the main two characters breaking up and getting together and breaking up and getting together, and then her dating someone else, and then whatever. That is so uninteresting to me. I don't know if I talked about this in my TBR video, but See You Yesterday by Rachel and Solomon. I feel like I don't really read as much YA as I used to, and this one has been on my TBR for years and needs a new home. Realm Breaker and Blade Breaker. Red Queen is one of my all-time favorite series, and I got these excited to read more of her, and I just have not been able to vibe with them. They're Lord of the Rings inspired, which I thought I would really like, but I have not caught a vibe with them. I think I'm gonna be unhauling that, I think. And then the other maybe is Really Good Actually by Monica Halsey. I heard this is really good. I'm keeping it. I think I'm gonna keep it because every once in a while I am in a lit fic mood. Very rarely, but every once in a while I'll read one and I'll love it and I'll be like, yeah, that slayed. So I think I'm gonna keep this, but this is definitely on my radar of unhauling just because of how rarely I indulge in lit fic. So if you've read this, let me know, because I think I'm gonna keep it, but it's teetering there. These are all of the books that I'm planning on unhauling sometime soon. If you've read them and enjoyed them, please try your hardest to convince me to read them in the comments, because I really need the motivation. I am probably gonna post all of them on Pango, and whatever doesn't sell on there, I'll bring them to somewhere local. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if I should be reading any of these. And that's that. I'll see you guys when I see y'all really soon, and I love every single one of you. Bye.